Hello. Not sure how many people are here.
Not telling us, is it? It used to
No,
tell you.
yeah, it used to tell us how many people were here. You're gonna have to get. Oh, there's seven. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Hi, Booktube.
we're live
Yay.
for the first time, and
We're
well,
alive.
first time we've been on BookTube in like 11 months or something,
Mm-hmm.
10 or 11 months, something like that, which is ridiculous. But we're here, and we see there are a few here. So, hello.
I'm excited.
Yep, we are. So we're going to talk today. Can everybody hear us? Everybody that's out there? All right, cool. Hello.
Yeah, we got some old friends here. I'm excited.
Yeah, we do. That's really awesome.
Is it? Yeah, we're just gonna go over everything. Well, no, we're not gonna go over everything. It's been a long year.
Yep. Hi,
I
Kelly.
I spent the first 4 months of the year sick.
Yeah.
Like if you remember my last video, I could barely get through it. I actually had to piece it together because I was coughing so much, and that lasted for months.
Yeah.
And after that, it was just sort of back and forth and illnesses and crazy stuff happening. It just booktube just did not happen.
Hi, Mindy and Steve.
Hello, everybody! I'm
Yeah.
excited. There's blue magic and book songs and other magic. There's that's
It's
great.
Gareth. You know.
I know who that is.
All right. You
And
better know that.
Kelly's writing. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Should,
There's
and
Mindy,
Mindy.
Alan, and Steve. My good friend Steve. And uh, as a matter of fact, I may have Becky go to the bedroom in just a little bit and grab my bag that Steve sent me. Of stuff that Steve sent me because I forgot to bring it in here. Damn it.
Jeez Louise, dude. Yeah, he's got a handful of things to go through. Yesterday was his birthday.
Yeah, yesterday was my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know how long I've been on Earth, you can just ask. If you don't, it's not important. But yeah, we'll let you know where we've been partially, and Becky started with that. She was very very um, sick for about 4 or 5 months at the beginning of the year. As a matter of fact, she spent the last 3 months of last year very sick.
Yeah, we got COVID there. Where was it? In September or
September, something like that. Yeah,
October, one or the other. And it hung around with me, and it turned into a raging sinus infection, and I kept that for months.
yeah, it was terrible. Like she couldn't speak.
Yeah, it got to the point I couldn't speak for longer than 2 or 3 minutes at a time.
Yeah, her tonsils would swell up, or the back of her throat would swell up, and she'd have trouble breathing, and it got terrible. And so that's where
sucks.
Yeah, that's where we were for a while, and then what? February,
mm-hmm.
the house went to crap.
Yeah.
We had a night that hit 5 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what, negative 18 Celsius or something like that.
Yeah, and in the northern states, it's pretty par for the course. Here, it's Armageddon. So we had a series of pipes literally explode under the house, and
yeah, we're talking explode. The pipes exploded. Not only, and it wasn't just one pipe; it was about three long sections of pipe.
3 long sections of pipe, and then everybody else around us had the same issue, like most of the people in our area. So it took weeks for us to get the couplings to put the pipe back together. I can actually fix the pipe, but it took weeks to get those couplings because everybody needed the couplings. So yeah, that was fun.
Mm-hmm. And I even tried to order from Amazon and they sent the wrong parts. So yeah, that sucked. And so and then her mom went on vacation 2 or 3 times, and so we had to come over here to her mom's house. And then they got us a new puppy, which you will see hopefully in this video. We'll have to show him to you. We still have Link, but Link is 13 years old, and
he's a crotchety old man.
Yeah, he's a crotchety old man at this point, but he is pretty awesome. So,
he's actually enjoying the new puppy. He protests too much, but he's enjoying it.
Yeah,
I don't care what anybody says. Albert is, what is he? 10 months old.
Almost 11. Almost 11 months old now.
He's bigger than Link.
Yep. He was born in February, wasn't he? So he's about 10 months old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right at 10 months.
Yeah. So yeah, he is cantankerous.
And he's already bigger than Link
Mm-hmm.
ever was. So he's a cute little guy.
Mm-hmm.
And in that,
Brian.
yeah. Hello, Brian.
No, it's just been
It's just been crazy stuff after crazy stuff after crazy stuff.
By the time summer got here, we were so tired we couldn't even think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were exhausted, and we wanted to get back on Booktube, but there was just no way. It just wasn't going to happen.
Mm.
So that's our story.
But we're here in the live.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I didn't even get on Voxer for months. Neither one of us did. We didn't even get on Voxer.
I was surprised I actually still had Voxer on my phone from when I was.
Yeah, she was. She thought she had deleted Voxer.
I thought it wasn't there anymore. I wasn't getting any. Hi, Brandy. I wasn't getting any notifications, and it had gone. I ended up with a new phone, and it had gone silent on me. I'm like, well, out of sight, out of mind. I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I'm awful.
No, you're not.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it was just a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
But,
it was. So let's talk a little bit about what we've been reading here lately. November was a really busy reading month for us because we were like, all right, we're getting back into this Booktube thing. We need it. We need it. We want it. We want our old friends back. We want to talk to you all again.
Yeah.
A couple of you I still talk to on Facebook and stuff like that, but people who didn't have Facebook, I just or I didn't have their phone number. I just didn't really.
Yeah, I haven't had a huge presence on Facebook.
Yeah, Becky hasn't had a huge presence on Facebook until this month. I hadn't for a while, but I talked to people some.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey Ian, nice to see you, man.
Yeah.
Veronica, hello. And so yeah, let's talk about
my train of thought just derailed.
Yeah, let's just talk about what we've been reading in the month of November. I'm not going to worry about too much before November because my reading really slowed down. Becky's didn't. Becky's never slows down.
I abuse my streaming service.
Yeah. She uses Kindle Unlimited, Everand, which used to be Scribd.
Yep. And I use the free section of Audible.
Yeah, thank you, Mandy. We appreciate that. And everybody who said something similar to that, we really appreciate it.
It's really good to see all of you again too.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so what I've been reading, and I'll show you what I've been reading most of my stuff on, is my Nook. I bought this last year. This is my newer cover and everything's got something on it. You can't see it except in the light. But anyway, that's my new cover for my Nook. You can see the N down there if you look really close. I guess you can't here.
Yeah,
there it is. Okay, yeah. I've been reading most of it on this, and you can see it's got really cool screen on it. The only issue I have with it is the performance. It can take a little bit to switch pages. As well, it didn't even switch there like it was supposed to. No, I didn't. There we go.
Yeah, it's pretty slow.
Sometimes it's kind of slow. Sometimes it isn't. But yeah, Brandy, red. I had a brown one as well.
It's got a suede feel to it. It's great.
Yeah. So let me let me think about what I've been reading.
You read Interview with the Vampire.
I read Interview with the Vampire. And like I've said before, I don't know if I'd ever read it before when I was a kid. I know I read The Vampire Lestat when I was a kid, and I remember nothing about that book. I was probably 14, 15, remember absolutely nothing about it. So I'm happy to be reading that again this coming year. I'm going to read that with Brandy, I believe, at the Booklectic. Yeah, and Brandy, I finished Dragon's Egg. Brandy, did you ever finish that? It's by Robert L. Forward. Oh my God, what a cool book.
It's really funny. We were trying to, at one point, he was going to sync was it your Nook and your Kindle? Are you nooking your Amazon?
No, I can't do that.
No, I mean you were trying to get the Interview with the Vampire on the same page.
Oh yeah, it was on my note. Yeah.
Yeah, you're nooking your Amazon. He was trying to get the book Interview with the Vampire on the same page on both devices, and I was trying to do it, and I'm swiping through this book that's on his Nook, and I'm going, this is smut. This I didn't know this was in Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, come to find out, it was Armand the vampire, or the vampire
Armand.
And let me tell you, from what I read of the vampire Armand, oh my God, it sucks compared to the Interview with the Vampire. I mean, like, really sucks in comparison. But yeah, that's the one I look forward to as well, Brandy. The Vampire Lestat. I can't wait to get back into it. Oh no, this is Alan saying it this time. Sorry, Brandy was right above you. Yeah, I'm really excited about the Vampire Lestat because I loved Interview with the Vampire. I don't think you would want to read it.
I've kind of fallen out of love. I have love with the vampire genre.
Have you?
Well, I read a boatload of vampire books when I was early 20s. You know, like Christine Feehan and Lindsay Sands, and I read all those books. And as I've gotten older, I'm just like, doesn't really appeal to me all that.
You just burn out on it.
Maybe
you probably just need a different take. Read a vampire that's actually.
You see, I do like the books where the vampires are the monsters. I think I've sort of started leaning more towards werewolves and shifters and stuff in my paranormal books. They're fluffier.
Brian, that is a cool point. Those were awesome. There's only one in the entire book that I can remember. It's like a feral vampire. It's like a monstrous, animalistic vampire, and we got nothing more. I think they explained that it was a vampire who went feral because he had no one else, and he just went and lived on his own and all this stuff. I wanted more of that. That was really cool.
It could be a really, really interesting take on vampires. Feral vampires. The idea is terrifying.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool, Alan. Yeah, that's cool. I know later in her life, she was still writing really prolifically. Anne Rice was, but Anne Rice, she kind of I don't know. I don't know if she actually just kind of lost a little bit of her sanity or what there at the end. But a lot of her stuff just went really strange. She even did two books on Jesus Christ, and yeah, she went Christian for a few years. Yeah, she did. Well, hello, Melissa. Yeah, yeah, we're excited to be back, Melissa, and we really appreciate that.
From Gothic to Catholic, there's really not that much of a change if you think about it.
Hey, Sean, nice to see you, man. Yeah, Sean, we've been planning on coming back for a little while, and just haven't.
We lost our marbles there for a while. It's great.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, but you know all about that, Sean. So yeah, so we got nothing on you.
So for November, I've been reading romance. I've been stuck on a romance kick for like 5 years, and like at the beginning of November, I read I think 7 of the Heather Grant books, The Crew of Hunters books. They're romance novels that take place around a group of sort of, I want to say ghost hunters, but it's a paranormal, parapsychological government group, and it's fantastic. I love the series, I really do. But then I had to stop reading those because Scribd said, no, you're done for the month.
Yeah, that's something that really bothers me about Scribd is it says unlimited, but then it's only unlimited in print. If you go and it's unlimited in What?
Not even necessarily in print.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I've I've hit that threshold in reading books as well.
I didn't know
Especially
that.
when I was reading Cozy Mysteries.
I did not know.
Got like 6 books in. They're like, nope, sorry, you have to wait until December 3rd. I'm like, no. So I'm waiting impatiently for December 3rd to finish the next 7 books in the Crow Hunters. There's only 30.
Yeah, something like that. Cool, Veronica. Yeah, Becky's always happy to find a fellow romance reader.
Mm-hmm. And Scribd has all of them on audiobook.
Yeah, Scribd really is a great service. As long as you're not reading 30 books a month, like Becky does.
We're not talking about me right now.
But I mean, I think I read about 9 or 10 books this month, and I cannot remember all I read. I do remember Dragon's Egg though, and my phone is what we're talking on. I can't
Can't show the cover.
Well, I can't go to my Goodreads.
I'm gonna go get my phone.
Yeah, if you would. Okay. Although I don't know if you have my Goodreads.
I got the bookish Brian's Goodreads.
That don't help me. I have my own Goodreads.
Anyway.
I have my own Goodreads. Becky has her own.
It's probably a good thing because we don't want people thinking that you read what I read.
Yeah, that's for sure. I don't want anybody thinking that.
There's some weird titles.
Yeah.
In those books.
Yeah. Let me think. What else did I read? Crap.
Yeah, you read nothing. Nothing.
Go to Goodreads.com and look up my Goodreads account. I'll actually punch in the stuff. But yeah, I want to talk about what I've read, and then and I'm actually going to talk now while she's getting this ready about what I'm going to do in December. What I'm going to do in December, partially, is reading John Wyndham books on Winter of Wyndham, which is going to be Gareth at Book Songs and Other Magic. And yeah, Steve, I'm sure that's true. Steve says it's the return we all dreaded.
Did Donahue show up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he did. Yeah, the other Steve Donahue. So yeah, we're going to show you. Becky wants to show her puppy, especially since Steve is here, and then Link as well. Although Link's trying to take Becky's chair. Come here, buddy. Come here. Here's Link. Here's my old boy. He's 13 years old now, and then there's Albert. This is our other little 9-month-old Boston Terrier, 10-month-old Boston Terrier. And
good boy. Yeah,
they are the best babies.
He's as lucky as Link is.
Yep. But this is the return Steve look forward to, I'm sure.
Yeah, Albie, Booktube, Albie.
Yeah, that's
Albert Pujols.
Albert Pujols. Yeah, he's such a good little boy. We just love him to death. Yeah. And we love this little guy too. Yeah. Link is 13 years old now. And Link is a little bit blind and a little bit deaf. Some days Link is really deaf, and some days he's really blind. But other days his eyes are just as clear and sparkly as they can be. So we don't know what that's about, do we?
I think it comes and goes with his body chemistry.
Yeah, he's been to the vet, and we're just not sure. We're just not sure what's going on with him. But it's because they say it just happens.
He's 13 years old. He's
13 years old. He actually lost his hearing 100% almost there for about 3 or 4 months, and then all of a sudden one day, Becky dropped something, and we noticed he turned his head. And so from that day forward, he's had most of his hearing back. But
Poor Deb.
I haven't seen Deb in a little while. Has she been on your channel, Steve? Christmas and Other Horrors. Oh, very cool. Oh, Stephen Graham Jones, Josh Mallory. Okay, I'll have to look that up.
Why are you looking?
Thank you, Melissa. They we just love them. And Albert and Link, they are complete opposites. They're nothing alike. Yeah. We use Albie for short, and but they're absolute complete opposites. Those boys have almost nothing in common. I mean, Link was never as hyper as Albert is. Albert, that's one of the reasons we had issues getting back on Booktube in the evenings, because Albert was an absolute
terror. He was
terror, for a while,
for like 3 months.
But I mean, he wasn't a rescue, which is what we wanted. But we didn't get him. We didn't go get him.
Yeah, he was a very, very big surprise. My mother told us they'd gone to visit my father's in-laws up in North Carolina. They had actually gone over to Alabama to the same breeder that we'd gotten Link's mother from. So Albert is actually Link's great nephew. I think something like that.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're related. They're from the same breeder. She's a award-winning breeder somewhere in Alabama. But I walked out and there's my mother holding this teeny tiny little Boston, cute as he can be, an absolute terror.
Yeah.
He bit everything that he could get his little teeth on for 3 months.
Yeah. Well, and as a matter of fact, now when we put him in the truck and we have Link and Albert, or Link and Albert in the truck together, Albert despises truck rides. Hates being in the truck. He stands the entire time. He will not sit. He will not lay down. He stands the whole time. So I pick him up and I try to put him on me, and he scratches the piss out of me. Oh my God, it scares him. And so we're still trying to work out Albert's psychology.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we're good with dogs. You know, he gets a lot of walks. I mean,
I think
he spends most of his time outside.
Hi, Lindsay. I think it's half insane and half teenager. I think that's probably a good mix for.
Oh, that's cool.
Little Albert.
Yeah, you're not probably not that far from here then.
Yeah,
we're about an hour and a half from the Alabama border, I think. Maybe even less than that.
Yeah.
We're in North.
Well, we're in Northeast Georgia, so maybe about 2 hours.
No, we're not in Northeast Georgia. We're in North Georgia.
We're the northeastern part of the state.
We're farther northwest than we are northeast.
No, we're not.
Okay. All right. She's wrong, but that's all right.
Eat you up later.
But yeah.
Hey, yeah. As for me, I've been reading romance, but I'm getting irritated with romance here. Like,
yeah, she's starting to get a little bit irritated in that the types of romance that she doesn't like, enemies to lovers, bully romances, stuff like that, is just stuff she hates, and it's getting more and more popular.
And it's for some reason every book I come across, it starts out with that enemies to lovers thing. It's doable in a very good way. It's possible to do a really good enemies to lovers romance.
It is.
Pride and Prejudice is an enemies to lovers.
You know, and Harlequin does it very well.
They do. I think it's because they're short and they're like, just wrap that crap up.
Yeah.
But I'll come across books where the enemies section of that enemies to lovers is 3/4 of the book, and by that point, I thoroughly hate both characters.
Yeah.
And what's the point in the last quarter of the book? And it's especially bad when the only reason these two characters who are supposed to be having this great romance come together is because they're pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate that. It's like, yeah, he treats me like crap. He calls me names. He verbally abuses me, but he's pretty.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
That's not how this works.
Yeah. All right, Kelly. Is it warm there now? It's 2 degrees Celsius here. No, it's about the same here.
It's probably about 42 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it would have been about -3 Celsius here 2 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 nights ago it was.
We had 25 degrees Fahrenheit here 2 nights ago.
Yeah, so that's about -3 Celsius. I do believe we're -4. But yeah, last year we had one day that was just ridiculous. 2 days. It was 2 days in a row, and that's what happened. Or it was earlier this year, and that's what happened to our house. But yeah.
Yeah, see, it won't. There we go. Pride and Prejudice is a really fine example because it wasn't based on their looks, them coming together. It was the fact that he stepped up in her and her family's biggest time of need and proved himself. And then all of a sudden, yeah, he seems like a great guy. So you don't see that anymore for some reason. It's all about, but he's very compelling because he's stacked muscles on muscles.
Yeah. I remember.
I want dad bods.
I remember one enemies to lovers romance that I started reading once, but it was actually kind of like, yeah, I know. Yeah, Steve, we do know that. Yeah.
You understand what I'm talking about, Steve. Stop perpetuating.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
It is nice to see you. It's been a long time since we've been on this channel, and I hated that it took so long to get back. But we're back, and we're not going anywhere. So, well, as soon as I say that. But no, we're not. Oh, yeah. And you read the XX.
I actually loved the XX, and it was enemies to lovers, but it was actually more like lovers to enemies to lovers. She already knew there was a good person buried under the bluster. So yeah, that one worked.
But I remember picking up one book one time. I picked it up at Half Price Books on our very first Half Price book trip, years and years ago, and I picked this book up, and I started reading through it, and it was this woman whose sister was killed, and she took this guy who is supposed to be some sort of detective or something, who was taking her to find her sister's killer. Well, he was an abusive asshole.
Mm-hmm.
He was horrible. Like, I'm talking, not even. There was no enemies to it though, because she fell in love with this guy right away because he was pretty and he was built, and he was like 6'3" and 210, 15 pounds in solid muscle, something like that. And the book, I ended up throwing the book in the trash, and I don't think I've ever done that before, but I don't want anybody else reading that shit either. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I like substance to my books. And like the last historical romance I read was very much that. It was enemies to lovers, and they were abusive towards each other. They said some things you can't take back to each other. And then all of a sudden at the end of the book, about the 3/4 mark, it's like, oh yeah, that never happened. He's great.
Right.
No.
Right.
No.
But see, the thing is, I can read some stuff that, and put myself in a situation just because they're different people than I am. But sometimes it's just too much.
You have to put yourself in my shoes. I have these things called outrageous hormones that at some periods of every other month are like, yeah, no, we can't handle this. Just put the book down and stop it. I even downloaded a cozy mystery the other day, and it's a friggin' enemies to lovers romance.
Yeah, it's very popular right now. And maybe it's time you just, yeah.
No, we know he didn't do that. I've got really thin hair. I'd be bald.
It was by the arms.
Okay. We'll accept that.
Of course I did. What else am I going to do? I couldn't be alone forever.
Oh, God.
But
that's awful.
Uh-oh. Sorry, I just had an alarm pop up.
Okay, we're still here.
Didn't stop anything. Cool. Scott just drew a tarot card for you. 9 of Cups. Cool. Cool. Thank you,
That's a
Alan.
good card.
Yeah, it is.
And as we're talking about relationships, that's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our train of thought is not doing something.
We don't do romance and requires conversation. And it's too cold to talk, right?
You just sort of throw snowballs at each other and hope they get the hint. I understand. Yeah. I've lived in places where
Hello.
Hi, Lavender Lady. I've lived in places where the air hurts my face. I get it.
Yeah. I love living in places like that. I mean, I hope it doesn't get that cold here this year because it causes a bunch of crap that just
nobody's prepared for.
Yeah, nobody's prepared for. But I want to show. Okay, yesterday was my birthday, and I want to show one of my presents.
He is 400 years old. He is the basis for one of Anne Rice's favorite novels.
Yeah, you're right about that, Steve. Yeah, the opposite is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got this yesterday. As soon as I'll show it to you, as soon as it wakes up here. Oh. And Becky reads so much romance that, and we use the same. All right, Mark, I'm 48. We use the same account. So when I open up my Kindle, my brand new Kindle that I just got yesterday, it's a bunch.
It's a bunch of half-naked men. It's great.
Yeah, it's a bunch of bare-chested, half-naked men, and.
But no, I ain't reading
all right,
that.
Or that.
You should stop reading these things. Filthy Dirty Christmas. I need to write that down. I like Chloe Summers though.
You do?
She's a great author. She's fun. Filthy Dirty Christmas. I really try to avoid titles like that because I know you're going to open your Kindle and go, "What the hell?"
Steve, I know I have stayed up at night. I've stayed up at night thinking about that.
I fell asleep over it, really.
Yeah.
It's a.
Yeah, in European sizes, though, Mark. Right?
Oh, God, I wear a 41.
Yeah. That'd be about right, wouldn't
it?
Yeah. Steve, it is a Kindle Basic. And I mean, I love it. Look at the size of this.
Come towards me. There we go.
It's perfect. Like I can hold it. I have small hands, and this is absolutely the perfect size for me. I could have gotten the Paperwhite, but I was like, the only difference really is the light. It's not the performance. And I wanted the denim color that they had as well. So I paid $5 more for the denim cover. But this is
that title page.
This is perfect. And this I like almost as much. My Nook I like almost as much. I bought this last year. I just don't like the performance when you're changing from page to page.
It's very slow sometimes.
It is a little slow sometimes, and considering I'm getting a pretty good library on this thing, I probably have 300 books on this, something like that. It's actually starting to slow down just a little, and I don't like that. Oh, hey, how you doing, Matt? Nice to see you. Well, they probably don't look small, but
he doesn't have small hands. I'm just saying, he's weird about that.
Well, I don't want to be.
It's a Nook. I don't know.
Yeah, it's last year's release of the basic Nook, the 4E, the Glow Light 4E, I think it was. I had a coupon last year, and I got 50% off of this thing. So it was already 25% off, and then I had another coupon that would give me another 25% off. And so, yeah. And I've actually been reading, let me find my book. Which puppy is that?
I don't know.
Let me get to my page here. And this is a book I have never read, and for some reason, I bought this thinking it had the cover. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. I bought this thinking it had the cover, and it does not. But it is. Well, she'll show you the puppy as well.
Oh no, I'm gonna let him know.
Oh, okay. It's Foreigner by C.J. Cherry. I bought this thinking the cover was going to be on here, and the cover is only on the preview. It doesn't show it when I actually open the book, which sucks because this is a Michael Whalen cover. It's a great cover. But yeah, this is really cool so far. I'm only about 15% in, but I love it so far, and I'm really surprised um, as to how much I'm liking it. I have read, surely I've read something by C.J. Cherry before, but I can't remember what it was. But I'm really enjoying it. Has anybody read any of the Foreigner books? I think Steve will raise his hand. Well, I like my Nook, Steve. I like it a lot actually, but I don't like that it has a little more of a pause when I'm turning the page. And I'm going to continue reading it, even though the resolution is not quite what the what the Kindle is. Even though I think um, even though it purports to be, I just don't think it is. I think the Kindle is a little darker, just slightly easier for me to read, and I wanted both bookstores anyway. So I ended up with that, and my case came in today, but it's at home. And we're not home right now. So, but no, I'm not 100% happy with the Nook. I'd say I'm 90% happy with the Nook, and I'll continue to use it. I'll continue to load books onto it. I do love it. I just um, I'm just not as happy with it as I am the Kindle, or I have an older Paperwhite at home that I actually like a little more as well. The older Paperwhite is, I think it's like a Paperwhite 2 or Paperwhite Generation 2 or something like that. And it's fine, but yeah. You know what? I think you're probably right. I didn't even think about that. Um, Steve, once I replace my Nook with a with a reader, with a different reader, I will send you my glow light. Hey, buddy. My puppies are here.
Let's climb out and make them stop trying to eat each other.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that Link does get a little upset with, is Albert doesn't just let him go out to use the bathroom. Albert has to be biting his legs and chasing him around the yard. In some ways, that's really good. It's keeping Link active. Link's acting like a puppy again most of the time, but he gets a little impatient with that. Steve, yeah, I've heard really good things about the Paperwhite Signature Edition. It's got 32 gigs of storage, I believe, whereas I don't know if this says 8. I think it says 8, but 8 will last me. I mean, that's probably a 1,500 books that I can get on here. You know, because EPUBs are small files, and I like that because they don't use. Yes.
It's funny.
Oh, I know. But yeah, okay. So yeah, what I'm gonna do in this is December, isn't it? Yeah. Well, tomorrow is December 1st. So what I'm gonna do is Gareth is having a kind of a readathon for the month, and it is The Winter of Wyndham, and it is reading John Wyndham books in the month of December, and I'm going to do that. You know, he's not having any co-hosts or anything like that. He's just asking people if they want to read some Wyndham and talk about it on their channels, and I definitely want to. I've read Day of the Triffids, and I freaking love that book. I love Day of the Triffids like a lot. So I'm going to read The Kraken Wakes, which I've heard is not as good as Day of the Triffids, according to most people. I know some people who like it more. I'm going to read The Chrysalids and the Midwich Cuckoos, which is what You remember the old movie, The Village of the Damned?
Oh, yeah.
It's based on the Midwich Cuckoos. So,
Really?
yeah, I really enjoy that movie too.
I'll have to read that. I didn't know it was based on a book.
It's not a bear under the desk. My stomach is growling. If you're hearing it, my stomach is growling. I ate a little bit for dinner, but I guess not enough.
No, you didn't eat all day.
Yeah.
But so it's November, starting December. Next year, we're actually planning to hang around this time.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Yeah, we're definitely doing Horror Mayhem.
Yeah, we're gonna do Horror Mayhem. That'll be this May.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
And going to pick New World's November back up.
New World's November is absolutely coming back.
Thank you the September Romance.
Yeah, and
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was fun. What do we call that?
Autumn Amore.
Autumn Amore. Yeah.
We said it in September because it is our birthday.
Yeah, because it's Becky's
birthday. I turned 41 this year.
Yeah, Becky turned 41. And
I'm not handling it well.
She acts like she's old. I'm 7 years older. But
it's not the years, it's the miles.
Steve, that is always welcome. I will always take audiobooks. And I like to give audiobooks too. Audiobooks, ebooks. I like to give ebooks as well. Yeah, I know she's 13 years older than you. It's not like, but
I'm wearing it well, I think.
Yeah. But yeah,
you look great for a 28-year-old, Steve.
But yeah, one of the things I want to do for the next year is I want to change things up just a little bit. Yeah, I want to keep going with the book content weekly. I want to do book content weekly. But every now and then I'd like to branch out and maybe do something about movies. I have a friend who wants to talk about horror films with me. I actually have a couple of friends who would like to come on and talk about horror films with me.
That'll be fun for Horror Mayhem too.
Yes, it will. Yeah, for Horror Mayhem.
A weekly movie segment.
Yeah, and there's one guy I'm really hoping to get. He's a horror film podcaster.
We could do our 31 days of horror movies in May.
We could.
We did that in October, and by like October 30th, we're like, no, we don't want to watch horror.
No, this year that didn't happen. This year that didn't happen, and the reason it didn't happen this year is because I didn't go back and watch a bunch of crap I've already seen.
I totally did.
Yeah, Becky does it every year. She watches more that she's already seen, and that's fine.
I refuse to go a Halloween season without watching The Changeling and Prince of Darkness and The Fog.
Yep.
Because they're necessary.
Yeah.
For the time of year, they're fantastic. They're the best movies so I'm not watching them again.
Yeah, we love horror films.
He's speaking from experiences. Someone who's been married for many years.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. There we go. I'll accept that.
Okay. It was.
I love you.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah. What happened?
Okay.
That was old me.
but yeah, we're definitely going to do something with some horror movies. What?
They're whining.
Oh, they're wanting back out. This is what we deal with night after night after night. The dogs want in there, the dogs want in here. Then the dogs want to go somewhere else. The dogs want to come in here. The dogs want to go outside. This is one of the reasons we haven't done as many videos lately. We just love it. Let's see. Let me try to catch up here. Steve, yeah, I'll make 49, Steve. I'm not worried about it.
Might.
Oh yes, that is an absolute necessity. Yeah, we're definitely going to get the boxer chat back up, Chris, and going again. And nice to see you, Chris. I haven't talked to you in a little while. Yeah, Mindy. Yeah, let's do that. Let's absolutely do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're horror nuts.
Yeah. We're actually kind of like horror movie junkies. I watch a lot more horror than I read.
Yeah.
I like horror novels. I love horror movies. So, hello, Jen. Nice to see you. Oh, he's asking for Steve Bowman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, we can have some Steve Bowman events. Let's do it.
That's great. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he is. Well, and now he's talking about the other one again. Hello, yeah, nice to see you again. It has been a while. And yeah, I totally agree, Matt. We can get started on
the boxer at any time.
Yeah, the boxer at any time, and we can actually just get a big group going again in the New World's November. Yeah, but Matt, look, let's do that. Let's get back. Let's get going again in the New World's November chat and get it going again. I mean, hell, we did it for like 3 months, and just I enjoyed it so much. It was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We can start that by tonight.
Yeah, and that's matter of fact. Let's do that. I mean, it's still up. It hasn't gone anywhere. But the book I read, Dragon's Egg, that Brandy was talking about earlier, it's been one of my favorite books this year. I actually got the idea to read it from Matt from Science Fiction Reads, and I've gotten a lot of recommendations from Matt. He has great science fiction recommendations, and we read like the same kind of science fiction.
Oh.
I like hard science fiction. I like soft science fiction. I like science fiction adventure. I like science fantasy.
And neither of you read the science fiction I read, I think.
No, we don't. No.
It like just science fiction romance. I think they're.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, that's why his recommended books keep popping up in weird ways on his Kindle.
Yeah, they.
Sorry, not sorry.
They gotta stop. Eventually.
No, they don't.
Yeah, Steve, that's cool. I like Paul Naschy films, although, man, mileage may vary on a lot of those films, though. Some of them are really bad. Some of them are really great.
Have I seen anything about Paul Naschy?
I don't think so. I don't think you ever have. He did a whole lot of werewolf films.
I like werewolf movies.
He's a Spanish language actor.
Maybe not then.
All right, Alan. Thank you for stopping. We really appreciate it. And Alan, I look forward to reading the Salman Rushdie book later on in just a month or two. We're going to read Midnight's Children together, and I'm excited about that. I haven't read any Salman Rushdie, so
I've never heard of it. I've only heard of the one you were talking about, and I didn't even realize it was a novel. I kind of figured it was along the satanic verses along the lines of the things that
Anton
LaVeyra, yeah.
No, it's nothing like that at all. It's an actual novel. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Brandy. And I did it a couple of times last year. I got on Better World Books and eBay and would order like 10 or 12 books at a time that I saw on Matt's channel. It just happened again and again and again. and it was great.
Yeah, you kind of have to suspend your disbelief for those movies.
Oh yeah,
it's worth it.
A lot of them, especially for like Italian horror. I love Italian horror movies, but they are a certain thing, and you cannot go in expecting a great plot because you're not going to get it most of the time. I love it, and I mean Italian films with great plots and great filmmaking exist.
But in those cases, plot is kind of secondary to scenery.
Yeah, Dario Argento.
Yeah, he's all about the sets.
Yeah, Lucio Fulci's all about the effects and the gore and stuff like that, and I'm for it. I love it. I know it's not for everybody, but
I like Dario Argento.
Yeah, I like Dario Argento, but I prefer Fulci.
I have trouble with Fulci.
I know you do.
Yeah, no, there's nothing innocent about it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Becky reads some crazy stuff. I'd probably, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't read what Becky reads.
No.
I've tried a couple of times. A couple of times, yeah. I see the stuff you're reading, and some of it I did like. You remember J.R. Ward?
Yeah, her was it Black Dagger
Brotherhood.
Yeah, that's a good series.
That is a good series.
Because it's extraordinarily dark.
It is.
Yeah. Extremely dark. Every once in a while, I just want fluffy.
Yeah.
I just like a good romance that's about the romance and about two people building a relationship, and that's it. Yeah. Give me a slice of life instead of the entire world against you, and you're a ginormous blind king who's just found your like soulmate. And yeah, it's sometimes dark is too dark.
Yeah. And another.
Yeah, I tried.
Okay, see you later, Mark. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, and another thing, we'd be interested in having bringing people on our channel and doing lives together and stuff like that. I would like to do more of that.
It'd be fun to do like during Horror Mayhem, do a series of sort of like buddy reads.
Yeah,
and get on and talk about them just after we've read them.
Yeah, I'd like to do that with Alan with Midnight's Children, and maybe the Satanic Verses. Although he just read it, so I doubt he's going to be reading that anytime soon. I have a copy of that book. I just haven't read it yet. Yeah,
they've been around a long time, Brandon. What I was just talking about earlier, it's one of the things I really liked about the first book is the main character. He's mostly blind. I think that's a really interesting take on such a bigger, larger than life character that he has.
Those books swap in between characters a lot, though.
Well, every book's about a different character.
Yeah.
And that, like the fifth and sixth book, they were starting to get really kind of weird for me. But again, I read them when I was like in my 20s and early 30s, and I'm a very different person now. I need to read them again.
Yeah, they're really good. They're not. Yeah. They really aren't romance first. I noticed, and I'm okay with.
They're really gritty.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. If I want to read a romance novel, I'll actually grab a category romance or something. But if I want.
Well, like after that book though, they do get to be very largely about the romance. One of them, I remember one of them being about one of the main male character kidnaps basically the main female character and like keeps her locked in his room. It was a little shocking.
Yeah,
just a little.
But what are some other things we want to do with the channel? I know we're going to start the events again.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot wait for that. I mean,
I'm looking forward to Horror Mayhem. I really am. I had so much fun with that.
Yeah, and we will say everyone who has been invited, who was invited last time, is going to be invited again. So if you want to do it, just let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you'll be invited back, and there might even, there might be a couple more. Well, I say last time, we didn't do it last time. Yeah. We didn't do it in May of this year.
I was partially dying in May of this year. So yeah.
Yeah, we had a rough May. But yeah, so if you've been invited before, I guess you'll be invited again. And there might be one or two other people I'd like to talk to about it, and see how that goes.
Have you read any John stuff?
Yeah.
I think I have.
Yes, I have read John. Yeah, you read one.
What?
It was called House of Reckoning, I think, something like that. You actually listened to the audiobook with me years ago.
Was that the one where the house was like actually calling people to?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of John Saul. Um, I wish his stuff wasn't out of print. I think a lot of it is out of print, but I think there are a few you can still find. Yeah, I like. If you want to get started with John Saul, Nathaniel is a good place to start. Um, Stuff for the Children is a good book. I don't know how much you're going to like him. I started him um, back in the late '80s. I was probably about 13 years old, so I started reading him in about 1988. And I think I read Suffer the Children first, which may be his first novel, something like that. So yeah, I enjoy John Saul. And I would still enjoy John Saul to this day because I know what I'm getting myself into, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, see, the only book I read by John Saul, I'm still confused about what it was about. I can't tell you what it was about.
No. You are thinking of a different author.
Who is that then?
I cannot think of his name. Um, but that book was actually based on an M.R. James ghost story.
Really?
The one you're thinking of. It was a book that someone had based on an M.R.
So
James
very
ghost story.
confused about it.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't uh, the best story of his either. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, Nathaniel was cool. I liked it a lot. I know. Let me see. What were some other books by him? Uh, Was Brainchild one of his, or was that Robin Cook? I can't remember. But yeah, I like John Saul's books. I like him quite a bit. And yes, Mindy, I'm excited for Horror Mayhem as well. We'll all have to get together and kind of figure out our format and all that for this coming year. Yeah, I love it. Okay, all right. So Brainchild was John Saul. I was thinking it was, but I wasn't sure. I know I read it and I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed that one quite a bit. Some of his writing, I think, and I know this is going to sound like blasphemy, but I think some of his writing from the '80s is actually like a better version of some of the Stephen King stuff. Um, I mean, as most people know, I don't hate Stephen King. I like a lot of Stephen King stuff, but there's a lot of it I think is just utter crap too. So I'm not the biggest Stephen King fan.
I've sort of grown irritated with Stephen King. It all stems from the Dark Tower series. That's all there is to it.
I didn't know there were any Anne Rice werewolf books.
Not either.
Huh. Okay, I'll look those up as soon as we're done. Yeah. You want to write that down for me? I got a pen. Here you go. So yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to remember to do is sit with you can just get anything out of here. Just sit with a pen and write stuff down as people bring it up. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they made the God Project into a graphic novel. I enjoyed the God Project too. I read all of his early stuff, probably his first 10 books or something. And then I read like one or two of his later books, and I like John Saul. I think he's completely underrated. I mean, I don't know that he's one of the great science fiction writers of his or horror writers of his time, but I think he's better than a lot of people who get more um, who get a lot more press, including some of the big ones. Laird Barron short stories. Laird Barron. I don't know that I've read any Laird Barron short stories.
Laird Barron. That's a great name.
Yeah, it is. Write that down too. Yeah, and I actually with
his name is two different types of nobility. I'm just saying.
I did, Brandy. It was a lot like it had the same vibe as the movie, but it was a lot stranger and it went a lot farther with a few things because I think Barbarella actually was a PG rated movie somehow. I mean, I believe it was. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But anyway, yeah, I liked it a lot. It's very interesting. And that's not the only one either. There's quite a few of those, the Barbarella graphic novels.
I want to know what Laird Barron wrote.
Yeah, me too. Well, I made an order last night. I got a Half Price Books gift card for $50 for my birthday. So I got online last night and ordered books from Half Price Books because the closest one is 60, 65 miles away.
So far away.
It doesn't sound like much, but in Georgia, 60 or 65 miles is not an hour to an hour and a half.
It's mind-numbing.
Yeah, it's mind-numbing.
You have to take the main highway and then get out of.
And we have to do it on a weekend. So yeah, Holcomb Bridge Road is horrible. It's exit 7 on Interstate 400. We used to live on there, and it would take 45 minutes to get 3 miles to work sometimes. Sometimes longer. One time it took 2.5 hours to get home. Yeah, horrible. But yeah, I would say Strangers in the movie, Randy. But yeah, in the order I made the order of Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie. I ordered 2 Algernon Blackwood short story collections.
Man, I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, me too. I'm a huge Algernon Blackwood fan.
I love Algernon Blackwood.
What was the other book I bought last night? I cannot remember.
We got 2 Algernon Blackwood books.
Yeah, but I ordered 4 books. And it took all $50 because you had to pay separate shipping. You have to pay separate shipping. It's not on Amazon.
I thought you were on Amazon.
No, Half Price Books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's separate shipping for each book. So it was $16 shipping plus the price of the books. But it's either that or drive 60 miles to get to Half Price Books, and I just didn't feel like doing that. Not right now. Yeah. But what was the other book? Ted Chiang.
That's right.
Exhalation. Yeah, that's the one I got. I already have. Yeah. Well, no, I already have story of your life and other stories. I think is what it's called, and I love that. I mean, I had a great time with that. It's not the best written short stories, but they're all interesting. Like they're all at the very least very interesting, great ideas. And that's actually one of my favorite things to read about in science fiction are it's the ideas for me.
Yeah.
It's not all about the characters. It's not all about, how well the story is written and all this stuff. It's how much does it spark my imagination with the ideas.
And see, that's why I have trouble with science fiction mostly, because I'm a very character and story driven reader.
You are, yeah.
Those what do they call it when it's is it concept driven or something like that?
Yeah.
Like or
idea driven.
Yeah, what's that one? It's the Foundation series.
Foundation series, yeah. I love
the
Foundation series.
I had trouble with it because it's extraordinarily dense and it's all about the idea. And it's the characters are just there to drive the idea. And it
and I love it.
Yeah.
I'm in for it.
Doesn't work for me, but it's I understand why everybody's so in love with it. It's terribly interesting.
Becky and I, as if you couldn't tell, are 2 completely different readers. Becky does read for ideas and for story, and or not ideas. You read for story and you read for characters and things like that, and I do as well, but not in everything. Like I'm fine with science fiction that doesn't have strong characters. Where the characters are not that strong, or where the story may not be told the best. I mean, Brandy and I read similar in science fiction.
Yeah.
The book lecture down here, who's in the chat, Brandy, she and I read very similar science fiction novels, and we read science fiction nearly the same way.
But we're the same with several things, books and music. We have very different tastes in music.
Yeah.
Sometimes they overlap, but it's relatively rare. I doesn't bother us at all.
No, it actually gives us something to talk about. Like I don't judge her for what she reads, even though we joke that we do, but we really don't.
No, it really doesn't.
It's not. It's not real. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
all that. We just have fun giving each other a hard time about that stuff. So, and I think that's one reason we get along the best is because we go into this relationship just like with our our events on YouTube, on Booktube and stuff. We go in there without egos. You know, if somebody has an idea, please tell me. If you don't want to read the same things we're reading, if you don't want to read it the way we're reading it, read something else. Who cares? You know, and so that's how we are with each other. We don't, you know, I mean, I would love for her to try some of my books and stuff, and she does.
Yeah, it works really well for us. We in September we celebrated our 18th anniversary. We've been together for 18 years. And then immediately after that in October we celebrated our 8th wedding anniversary. So we figured it out, I think.
Yeah, we have experience. And then we still get people who are like, but you know, that's not the way relationships work. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? We've been together 18 years. Why the hell do we need to hear what you think about how our relationship should work? You know, shut the hell up. this is a yeah. This is our life. We do it differently. We're very competitive.
It's so much fun too.
Yeah, we've played Jeopardy every night on TV, and I'm trying to win. You know, I'm not. That's just us.
Yeah,
and we like it to be that way.
Yep. We like having fun together.
Yeah.
And I'd kick your ass if you let me win at Jeopardy. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, she wouldn't like that at all. She'd kick my ass if I let her win at anything. You know, to me that's just degrading.
It is.
It's a totally degrading thing that people, you know, and that people want to be let win. Oh, wait a minute! I have heard of the Imago sequence.
Imago.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool. Yeah, thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Yeah. We're gonna have to look that up. Yeah, I have heard of that series there, Imago. It was actually, if I'm not mistaken, okay, I told Brandy about this the other night, and I've talked about it before on our channel, but it's been a long time. I had a friend, and me and this friend, we read the same magazine. It was called Inquest magazine. And Inquest was a Magic the Gathering magazine. I've been playing well, I did play Magic the Gathering for like 25 years. I haven't played it in a long time.
Yeah, it got too expensive.
It got too expensive and it got too competitive. And if you don't have money, you can't win. So I just gave up. Well, I played it for a long time. And we started reading this magazine called Inquest magazine, and it was geared toward Magic the Gathering. Well, in it, they had an article that was called 100 books you must read before you die. They were all speculative fiction books, science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And there were actually probably more like 300 books in this because a lot of it were really, really long series. It had Wheel of Time in there, but the Imago, if I'm not mistaken, was in that. The Imago sequence, if I'm not mistaken, was in that that article, and it was one of the top 100. I remember number 100 being The Postman by David Brin, and number one was Lord of the Rings. Number two was Dune. But outside of that, I cannot remember where the other stuff fell. But I used to have this printed up, and him and we tried to collect and read all of these books. So I got a lot of them read, but not all of them. But yeah. Okay, Kevin, let's see. What kind of horror films do you prefer? Do you like Rob Zombie, Lords of Salem, or are you more slasher films, The Exorcist or the Primal Terror?
Well, for me, it's paranormal horror. I love haunted house and sick building syndrome movies and well, things like I hate to use this as uh, an example, but things like La Llorona, like folk horror and things like that. I love those movies. And the Conjuring series. I'm so sorry.
What kind of horror movies do I prefer? I like all subgenres of horror pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like all horror movies. Don't get me wrong.
No, that's me.
Yeah, that's Becky. That Becky likes them good or bad. Doesn't really matter. I just like good horror movies. I don't care how. I mean, I just want it to be made well.
Yeah, he wasn't a fan of The Exorcist.
No, it's not that I'm not a fan of The Exorcist. I just think The Exorcist is horribly overrated. And I think it's very much a product of its time. I watched it for the first time when I was about 16, so it would have been about 1990 or 91,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me laugh. I thought it was funny. Religious horror does absolutely nothing for me. It's not that religious horror can't be done well. It's just that, okay, it's just that it doesn't draw me in. It can actually push me out of a movie. Like so many people love the movie The Devil Rides Out, and I love that studio, and I love the filmmaker Terrence Fisher, and I love so many things about it, but I don't love the movie.
I think a lot of it stems from being very knowledgeable about religions, about different religions. Because usually when the movie is very religious driven, is at the is leaning towards one religion at the expense of others.
Of all others.
That's one of the reasons I had trouble with the Conjuring movie. There's other than the fact that Ed and Lorraine Warren were the main characters. That she was talking about how this woman was a witch, so obviously she was eating her babies, and I'm like,
what? Yeah. What? Ed and Lorraine Warren were charlatans that should have been thrown in jail,
run out of town on a rail. But I one of my favorite things is to watch ghost hunting TV shows and wait for the wild pentagram to show up on the wall, and because it's going to, it's just a matter of time.
But my answer to your question, Kevin, is yes. I like all of those types of movies. I don't care too much for Lord. No, I did like.
We liked Lords of Salem.
I did like Lords of Salem. I just
didn't like last one.
31.
Yeah, 31 was it?
Yeah,
something like that.
I thought that was just terrible. But Lords of Salem we did enjoy.
We had to fight for
The Exorcist I enjoy. I just think it's terribly overrated. I don't think it's a top 10 horror film.
The Exorcist 3, however, is.
The Exorcist 3 I love. Yeah, Exorcist 3 is very cool. No, that's fine.
Most horror movies can be made better with George C. Scott, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We will be back over and over again. So we're not stopping here. This is just the beginning, and we're so glad to be back. This has been a lot of fun tonight, but yeah. And if anybody hasn't seen Book Blather's latest book haul, you got to go watch. Man, that's an epic book haul. It's great. If you like any science fiction or fantasy, especially, that is a great book haul. That's one of my favorite.
Really good.
One of my favorite book hauls I've ever watched. Yeah. Yeah, Steve. Steve is one of the guys that I'd like to have come on our channel and talk about some horror, especially when we're talking about classic horror.
You know, Steve, that was one thing we were talking about the other day. We were talking about mummies. You don't see many horror movies that are actually straight up good horror with a mummy in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Books either.
It's an ancient zombie. It's built-in horror.
Yeah.
And for some reason, most mummy movies are leaning heavy on the comedy. Yeah, I'd like to see a good scary horror movie with about mummies.
You know, I watched one time. It's called Steve. Tell me if you've ever seen it. It's called, I believe, Dawn of the Mummy, and it's more of a. I can't remember if it's Italian or Spanish, but it's been so long since I've seen it. But it was not a very good horror movie. But it was Pretty atmospheric, and had some really cool scenes, like uh, zombie mummies coming up out of the desert. Was very cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool. The desert in Egypt, and yeah. Steve, let me know if you've ever seen that. I can't remember. It was an '80s movie, I believe. Yes, and that scene right there, Brian, is awesome. That's one of our favorite horror film scenes ever.
It never fails to scare the crap out of me, and I know what's coming.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, we have seen that, Chris. Yeah, we like that.
Can't remember what this.
Yeah, it was the one with the girl with the alien in her house.
Oh, the one with there are like 2 words in the entire movie.
Yeah,
I loved that movie.
yeah, it was good. Yeah, we enjoyed it.
It was one of those special movies where even though the main character at the end is on the wrong side, the wrong side of things, you're really happy for her because she's there. It's like The Witch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, The Witch. I love the end of The Witch. I love the end of Midsummer Murders, and I'm rooting for the women who end up, in my opinion, on the right side of things.
Yeah, they're on the historically wrong side, but in this case, they made the right decision.
Yeah, it's the right thing.
She wanted to live deliciously, and she did.
That's right. Yeah, Michael K. Vaughan and Roger's his mummy that sits behind him in the videos. Yeah, I love Michael K. Vaughan. I did a live that he was on the other day with Garrett. First time I've ever done a live with Michael K. Vaughan. That was really fun. He's one of my favorite booktubers. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true, and I totally get that. Whereas Night of the Living Dead, there's so many. So I get it, and I get how it could probably be easier in literature to make a mummy scary than in a movie. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be reading Anne Rice's The Mummy, and I don't know. I don't have a clue about what it is, but in 2024, I'm reading that book, so I'm excited to get to that.
Yeah.
I think I did see that Mummy film about 20 years ago. Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was fine. I actually owned it. It was real cheap when it first came out, and then it got collectible because they stopped making it, and then it just kind of went crazy. But yeah, I bought it on DVD right after it came out. I mean, right after the DVD came out, not right after the movie came out.
Yeah, right. I was the same way. It didn't even occur to me until I looked up the trivia on IMDb that there's no dialogue in that movie. It is 100%.
Yeah.
Blocking and movement.
I didn't think I liked it at first when I was watching it. I didn't think I liked the no dialogue part, but then after a while I did.
Well, it made major sense, honestly, because she's entirely alone throughout that whole movie. She is 100% alone.
Yeah.
So the dialogue was absolutely not necessary.
Right. So I know Chris is here. I don't know if he's in and out or if he's here. But Chris, what time is it in Australia? What is it? What is your time there right now? But yeah, we're definitely going to have to get a good.
Oh,
wow, I missed something.
The Witch was awesome.
Yeah, The Witch was freaking awesome. That's The Witch is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Love it.
It was creepy, and that's because they had some crazy good acting. Right down to the little children. There was some really great acting in that movie.
That's all right, Brandy. There's a whole lot of people. There are a whole lot of people who don't like horror movies.
It takes a good director to make a really scary horror flick without throwing those jump scares in every half second.
Yep, that's true. Okay, it's 11:48 a.m. in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, it's there tomorrow. It's tomorrow there by a lot. Oh, cool! I didn't know that, Mindy.
It's right up there. It's probably on my top 5.
Yeah, my favorite is Alien, and I would say The Thing is second, and The Witch would be third. My all-time favorite horror films.
My favorite horror movie is 100% The Changeling.
And you can always tell how big a science fiction fan a person is by their favorite horror films too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Alien and The Thing are my top two, so I'm a big science fiction fan. But yeah, Mindy the Witch is fantastic, freaking tastic.
Sure is.
Yeah, I don't, I haven't seen one in a long time that's been made that has even come close to how good I would consider The Witch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfect.
It's been a while.
Hi, Angie. Cool. Okay, so it's $12.49 there.
Mm-hmm. It's just what it's 7:50 here. So.
Yeah, so 5 hours.
I had to count on my fingers. Give me a second.
You got brave 2 years ago and watched It Follows.
Oh God, no! Why did you start with that?
Yeah, there's a funny story about It Follows that I've told Becky a lot. One of my friends at work, Marissa, a few years ago, she asked me, what is a good horror film? I'm in the mood for a good horror movie. What should I watch? She didn't normally watch horror movies, and I didn't know that.
You told her.
And I told her It Follows was really good, and it's on Netflix. So she gets on Netflix and turns on It Follows, and she was never the same. She said for weeks afterwards, she looked over her shoulder to make sure nobody was following her.
She experienced a sincere trauma response.
Yeah, she did. She did. It was almost like a PTSD response she got from that movie, and it's very good. It Follows is one of the best horror movies made in the last 15 years. Probably.
Yeah, it is genuinely scary.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was probably a bad movie to start back up with, Randy.
Yeah,
it's an experience, that's for sure.
It's great. I think it's very well done. Yeah, it's got your what do you call them? Annoying teenage characters and annoying 20-somethings and stuff like that. But it never gets to the point to where it's just unwatchable because of them.
And they never actually hit that too stupid to live stage that
right.
most of them do. They're actually very competent characters, and yeah, I love that movie. Yeah, I don't want to watch it again anytime soon though. Man, it scares me.
Oh yeah, I have not seen that yet. I've heard that that's something I need to watch though.
Yeah, we've talked about watching it a couple of times.
Speaking of which, let me show you a book on my new Kindle I just got last night, and I'm thinking about going ahead and getting the rest. If anybody is,
I think you should read Dirty Filthy Christmas.
No, I'm not going to read Dirty Filthy Christmas.
But it's right there.
It ain't gonna happen.
But Toni Morrison's on there.
Yeah, Toni Morrison's on here. Shut up.
I hate that book so bad. It's the Bluest Eye. I read it in college, and that just was never the same.
Yeah, something like that traumatized her. Whew. Trying to find this damn book, and I know it's here somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's by, and I actually got this. Damn it! And I actually got this from the other day watching Steve and Mark and Jason, the OGBG.
Is that 14 pages of forewords?
Yeah, there we go. Called Blood Eyes by Giles Christian. It's like a really violent, bloody, gory Viking tale, and I love that kind of stuff. So has anybody read any of these? I've been hearing really, really good things.
Yeah, that's how that movie is.
Yeah, but oh man, I loved it. Oh, Mindy loves the Northman as well. So cool. I gotta watch it. Oh man, you can't go wrong. I love that movie. It's that is about as atmospheric as haunted house films get.
Oh yeah,
love it so much.
For days.
Yeah, it does. I absolutely love it. I think it's definitely a top 5 or 6 horror film for me as well. It's right up there.
Mm-hmm. I'm a shameless horror movie apologist now. I like the new one too.
You know, in the scene where she's walking up the staircase. You remember that scene in the movie?
Mhm.
Man, that is creepy because the stairs are just, the stairs are wobbling and shaking with her, and she can't. Oh man, really, really creepy. Yep, The Haunting is
Mhm.
great. The Haunting is one of the best.
Mhm.
So, does anybody have any questions about what's coming up, or anything you'd like to see us do on our channel that we haven't done? Would any of you like to come on and discuss things with us?
And talk about horror movies or horror books.
Talk about horror movies or horror books or science
somebody
fiction.
talk about romance novels.
Yeah, or somebody could talk about romance novels with Becky. That'd be great. I wouldn't be good at that. I mean, I'll admit that. I would not be good at it, and it's my fault. But
This chair is untouchable.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks uncomfortable. I'm in an office chair.
It's like a big wooden
and she is
throne.
not. Oh, 1 year recap of everything you've read. That ain't happening with Becky, probably. With me, it'd take up about 20 minutes. So, like I said, for a while, I just didn't read.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I probably read about 300 books this year, Brandy.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, Chris, that's awesome. Let's do it. I wanted to do it before, and then we just had to leave Booktube for a while. Just couldn't do anything. But yeah, let's do that. Let's have you on our channel. That would be freaking fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It could be weird trying to get it together because he's in Australia and 15 hours ahead of us, I believe, something like that. But we could make it happen, especially if it's on a weekend for us or something.
Almost 16 hours ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it.
Oh yeah.
We have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Let's know though.
No, let's think about it and come up with a day.
Well, I know for December I'm reading all the Christmas romance.
No, that's not what I mean.
All the Christmas romance.
When's our next video going to be?
We don't know.
And that's what I'm saying. Let's do it. Let's come up with a day and time that our video is going to be.
And we also have to come up with a topic.
Yeah. No, we don't.
We don't.
No.
We're just going to do it live and
maybe
shoot the breeze.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. What we'll do is we'll talk about it for a day or two, and then we will put up a message to tell you all when it's happening.
You know, they filmed a Hallmark movie in our town a few years ago. I can't remember what it was called. It was atrocious. It was so awful.
So bad.
But it was fun seeing the landmarks in the background because they filmed that movie in the summer.
And it was supposed to be in New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is as far from New Hampshire as you can get. This is the mountains of North Georgia. This ain't New Hampshire. Two completely different things. Well, Becky reads when she's working.
Yeah, I listen to books all day. I read at night and on my breaks. And yeah,
she reads on the throne. She reads on the couch while she's watching TV.
I'm constantly reading. Yeah.
All the time. So that's I can't do that. Tim, how's it going, buddy?
Hi,
haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I know. It's been a long time since you've seen us too. Nice to see you. Let's see. Oh, cool.
Yeah. We'll have to all get on and have a big live, and everybody can compare their reading.
Let's do it.
Tops.
Yeah. Hey, let's do it before the end of the year. We could do a little end of the year panel if somebody wants to do it with us. Whoever wants to do it with us, we could do like
have a 5 people. Live.
We could do like 5 people, 6 people. Yeah, let's do it. And Lindsay, you'd be welcome on there. Mm-hmm. That would be a lot of fun. And we'd love to have Dave and Olive. Oh, yeah. And Mindy would love to have if she wants to come on.
Need to have it.
We'd love to have Brandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Nikki.
And Christy.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Yeah. Glad to see you too. And Nikki, hello. Yeah, it's been a really long time. We're back. We're staying back this time.
Mm-hmm.
It has been way too long. What would that be?
I'm dying to know. You have to tell me.
Okay, Brian. Thank you for stopping. It was so nice to talk to you again. And get on Boxer. We're gonna be there tonight. I'm gonna tell everybody hi tonight on the
New
World's November channel. And if anybody wants to just get maybe just this little Bookish Brian's channel going to talk about whatever we're reading, let us know. We'd be happy to do that too. Not everybody's a science fiction fan, but it's still great for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have missed it so bad, Nikki. But we're glad to be back, and we're not going anywhere. So
yeah. Except tonight, I think we're probably about to kick off here in just a little bit. We've been on for an hour.
Yeah, we've been on for an hour and a half. And I got to read. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming on. Chris, yes, absolutely. I'll hit you up on Boxer here in just a little bit. And yeah.
Now I'm dying to know.
Oh, okay. Hopefully it's not one of those.
Maybe it's something like Cassie Edwards or Connie Mason. It's not the joke's on you. I've read them all. But oh goodness gracious!
I guess we're gonna. Hey, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Nice to see you. Yeah, it's been a long time. Unfortunately, you're catching us at the end. We'll stay on about 5 or 10 more minutes, then we'll go.
That works for me.
Yeah, that sounds good because Jim's here.
Jim's here.
Yeah.
Still fall for you, Jim.
Steve, we sure are glad to be back, and I really appreciate the care package you sent me. I'll show it in the next video. I just forgot to have Becky get it for me. So start grabbing some stuff out of the box there. I want to show a few things I got for my birthday.
Oh, we can show them the shirt I got you.
Hey, baby.
What?
Matt. So yeah, she's gonna show the shirt she got me. I forgot all about showing this stuff, but yeah, Steve, on the next video, I will show the package you bought me because I'm gonna. You sent me because I'm also gonna show the rest of my books I just got like the day after that. So yeah, this is one thing Becky got me. The Incomplete by Obituary. I am a huge death metal fan. And yeah, I'm wearing a Black Sabbath hat and a Dark Funeral shirt, which is black metal. But I love death metal more than anything. So, yep, great album. I love it.
If you can't tell, Scott's a fan of metal music.
I love metal music, and Becky made me this shirt. I thought it was hilarious. It's kind of like the college T-shirt from Animal House, which I think is great. And I doubt anybody wants to see this, but anyway, I got this.
Nice buck knife.
It's a buck, and I collect buck knives, and I love them. So I got me a fixed blade knife. I didn't have a good fixed blade buck. Now I do. I got Barry Lyndon, one of my all-time favorite movies. This is a Stanley Kubrick film. But yeah, very excited about this book right here, or this movie right here. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I love the Criterion Collection. This is a DVD because the thing is, I can't always watch Blu-rays. I love Blu-rays, and I watch them when I get a chance. Every chance I get, I'm watching a Blu-ray. But I don't always have a chance. But I do always have a chance to watch DVDs because I've got like a portable DVD player that I like to use and stuff. So Barry Lyndon's such a cool movie. It's a 3-hour historical-ish epic.
I'm thinking this is going to show up like crap.
Yeah, this isn't going to look good because for some reason this got wrinkled, but it's Night Gallery. It's the complete series, Night Gallery complete series, and I love this old show. It's Rod Serling's Night Gallery. It's 98 stories, and I think it's about 40, 50, between 40 and 50 episodes. No, it's not quite that many. Oh yeah, it is. Maybe it is, but still, this was such a cool show, and I'm excited to have that. Alan Parsons Project, Turn of a Friendly Card, great album. Very glad to have this as well.
Yeah.
Yep, and I got the vinyl as well. I got a used vinyl of it. I love having records that actually have this link one in. Who have that little bit of wear. I actually prefer it. I love something like this that has a little bit of character to it. So I thought that was really cool to have as well. And I got that stuff. Was there more in there?
Well, you got your darn one.
Okay. But yeah, I do knitting and crocheting. I started doing that a few years ago, and I had a stroke, and then doing that actually helped me get my fine motor skills back. And so I kept doing it. And Becky got me a yarn winder, where you can take these big skeins of yarn and it turns them into like a ball instead of, and that thing's gonna come in handy.
I got a neat rotary thing that you can sit the balls on and pull them. It's cool.
It is cool. Of course, you got to be into knitting to like it, but I love it. Yeah. That Night Gallery set I'm excited about it. I haven't watched that show in so long. I've been watching some Dark Shadows, a couple episodes at a time. I'm watching that on. I'm not watching that on Tubi. I'm watching it on Tubi or Freevee. No, Tubi, I think. And it's Tubi, and I love it. Tubi is if you're not watching Tubi is this kick-ass streaming app. It has commercials, but it has so many free things on it to watch, like thousands and thousands of stuff. Okay, cool, Tim. Yeah, I haven't heard it in a long time, so I've got to get. I got to get the side too, and I'll actually be listening to this tomorrow night once I get home. I'm not home tonight, but the record is in perfect condition. Like I can't. Yeah, it's great. I love the Alan Parsons Project. Actually, my favorite album by them is, what is it? It's the Edgar Allan Poe one. I can't remember what it's called, but I love it. I, Robot is a great album as well. But yeah, and I got a lot of really cool stuff for my birthday.
I just covered my face in dog spit. Yeah. Lord.
So are we done? Is that it for us?
I guess so. I think we've run the, what is it called? The gamut.
The gamut. Oh yeah. Who was it that said that?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. Somebody said. I think we've run the gamut, and it's the gamut, but still. Yeah. Okay, Veronica. Cool. You like the Alan Parsons Project too? Yeah, I really love their stuff. I love stuff from that era. I love prog rock. The early Genesis. I mean, I'm a metalhead first and foremost, but second is prog. Love it. The early Genesis, the early Yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
And see, I'm the opposite. I like the later Genesis. I like the pop Genesis.
Oh, I hate the pop Genesis. I just can't stand it. I don't like anything Phil Collins did on his own. Peter Gabriel, on the other hand, I do. I think Peter Gabriel did some great stuff on his own. He's got a new album coming out soon, which I look forward to hearing.
There's like one Peter Gabriel song.
Yeah, you'd like a lot of Peter Gabriel stuff though.
Yeah,
he's got some good stuff. All right, I guess that's it for us.
I think that's it for the night. There's
still 20 people here, but I want to say thank you to everybody who stayed. Yeah, Steve, all great stuff. everybody who stayed, everybody who came in for a few minutes, if that's all you had, everybody who commented. We really, really greatly appreciate it, and we'll be back very, very soon. Matter of fact, I'll put a message up on YouTube to let everybody know when we're about to do our next one, and hopefully that way you can maybe put a notification up or something.
Yeah.
So you can be there. Yeah. But we really, really appreciate it. Hi, Layla. Hi, Layla. Hi, Layla. I'm sorry. Yeah, nice to see all of you. And we'll be back very soon. And thank you for being patient with us and everything. So, yeah, we'll talk to you all very, very soon. Thank you.